minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, you got to love these live stream things, haven't you? They always absolutely freak me out. I've never got any clue whether it's going to work, but let's hope that somebody can actually see me and hear me this time. So hello, everybody. Welcome back to a live stream. Haven't done one of these for 3 months, would you believe? I do enjoy doing them, but as I say, I always get very nervous about them, mainly because the technology is so flipping complicated when you try and do complicated things like I'm attempting to do tonight, that I get the heebie-jeebies about it. Anyway, can you let me know if you can see and hear me okay before we get cracking on in the usual thing? So I see, again, just to prove that I don't know what I'm doing with the technology, the chat actually opened up about an hour before the video did. So there's already been a load of chat. So there's definitely some people on here. But can you see and hear me? All good on sound and vision, says Mark Dean. Thank you, Mark. Thank goodness for that. And Teapot One, whoever he is, says he's, oh, howdy from Cincinnati, Ohio. Hello, John. That's fantastic. So anyway, it looks like it's all working fine, so that's good. So how have you been? It's been a while, isn't it? It's been a little while since we did one of these. And the weather here in the UK in the last, well, month or so has been absolutely cracking. So it's been brilliant. I hope you've managed to get out on your bikes. It's been fantastic. Unfortunately, taking a bit of a turn for the worst here now in the UK. In fact, this afternoon, it's pretty miserable where I live, which is kind of why I decided to do a live stream. So thank you for joining. I didn't give any notice of this other than a sort of vague reference on, I think, one of my bike news is that I might do one and pop up. So thank you for joining anyway. I know there's competing things to watch tonight. Apparently, we're up against the World Superbike highlights. I don't know anything about that. And apparently Aston Villa are playing. I hope I haven't reminded you that you're missing something worth watching now, but I don't do footy either. I purposely said soccer to somebody on the comments earlier just to annoy any football fans out there. But anyway, thank you for joining us. Without further ado, let's get tonight's guests on, shall we? We'll start off with, let's do this in order of preference. So, Chopsy.
Hey, evening, Andy. Evening, Andy. How's everybody?
Great to see you, mate. You're looking very sharp. You're looking very thin, if I may say.
I've got a new hat, and I've got a new hat and everything for this, mate. So, yeah, spared no expense. I'm in the pajamas. Mind you. You know, I've had my early bath. I'm ready for bed, but
I'll tell you what, up here. Those pajamas are hanging off you, mate, aren't they, with that weight you've lost?
Well, not that. Well, I've lost a little bit, mate. Thank you very much for noticing.
So, you're looking brilliant. But yeah. And by way of contrast, let's get our next guest on, shall we? And here he is. It's only Bruce.
Oh, you're a cunny font, Andy. You're a cunny font. Yeah.
Hey, that don't start with that Scottish stuff. So I suppose we just better check in and make sure we've got some people on here. It all looks like it's working, doesn't it? That's great. It's amazing when it works. And you may have noticed. Oh, Bruce is off already. He's left in disgust. You may have noticed, folks, on the screen, it's got a phone number. And as Chopsy was saying to me earlier, this here in my phone is my burner phone, which I'm now sharing the number with. If you do
on toilet walls all over England.
Well, let's hope it won't be from now on. Now you've given that idea. Thanks. Needless to say, this phone only ever works when I'm live on YouTube. So no point phoning up between times, or indeed scrawling it on a toilet wall, because I won't be answering it until my next live stream. So there we go. Thanks.
But they could clog up all your messages, Andy, couldn't they? They could clog up all your messages. So you turn the phone on, you've got like 50 messages from people.
I think
I'm sure people won't do that. Just a thought.
Thanks for putting that out there. This could be the last attempt ever at a phone-in. So all I would say, if you do want to join the banter, then feel free to call that number. It's a UK number, 0742. God, I should have my glasses on. I'm having to read it off my own banner here. 07421 508 931 is the number to call. It's a very sophisticated setup here. There is no one managing the call, so you're straight on as soon as you phone. So if you ring and you don't get an engaged tone, that means you're on the NX. You'll hear us talking, and then suddenly we'll come to you. If you phone, there's an engaged tone, that means I've already answered the call to somebody else. So that's how that works. So we'll see. So any ideas how many people we've got watching? I don't know how we do it on this. I'm sure I used to be able to tell. We've got more than 5, haven't we?
Yeah, I think we've got 418. I'm seeing on the YouTube feed. Yes,
that's amazing. Oh, hang on. What's this? Hang on, I forgot something's happened here. Somebody's actually sent me a text. Roy from Dunstable has sent me a text. That's a first. I don't think we opened the lines for text, but thank you. Oh, hang on a minute. Stand by, folks.
Send pictures, people. Send pictures.
Not only have I got the live phone doodah, but of course I've also got. Oh, not that one. Sound effects. Can you hear that? And that means,
God,
we've already got our first caller. Hello, who's calling the Messenden Flower live stream? Can we hear you? Hang on a second. Let's hit this button here.
It's like really shit breakfast radio, isn't it?
Right, let's try that again, shall we? Who's calling in? Because I think we might be able to speak to you now. Hello, hello, who's that?
It's Josh.
Josh, mate. Thank goodness you called. Oh, so how you doing?
Not so bad. Yourself?
Yes, very good. It sounds like you might be from north of the border. Would I be correct?
Yeah, I'm, well, actually, Carlisle area. I'm from a town called Maryport, but...
Carlisle, of course, that's south to Bruce.
Yeah.
So what brings you to call in tonight? What's on your mind? What would you like to share with Chopsy and Bruce?
The question is to Chopsy and Bruce.
Okay.
They done the pasty, they done the fish and chips, and I was just wondering, when they're going to do Scotland, the haggis.
Well, I keep texting
Over to you, Chops.
I keep texting you every week, Bruce. When are we getting out again? Where are we going? No response. It's
he's got enough time to go on all his launches, hasn't he? But he's got no time to go away and do these big eats.
We're definitely going to do it. We spoke about it. Well, probably end of last
5
year.
years ago, we spoke about it.
End of last year, we said we got. Well, actually, ended up watching the pasty video again, and I was like, you know what, this is actually quite funny. So we do need to sort it out. And busy people. You're touring now for the next 6 months, aren't you? More or less.
Yeah, just 2 weeks' time the tours start, and I've just done my diary with the wife there, and geez, it's crazy. It's like every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just away again. So. But if you want to do it, I've been saying to you for years now, I'm up for doing it. So if we can get some dates in the diary, let's commit and let's do it. Definitely. Come on, Chops, let's commit.
Definitely. I'm up for it, mate. I'm definitely up for it. So we need to make it happen. I know we keep saying it, but we need to make it happen.
So, Josh, have you got a particular haggis favourite place they should be visiting then?
Anywhere, really. I just like haggis.
Fair enough.
Good lad.
Good on you. I'm a convert as well. Did a Triumph Tiger launch, I think it was beginning of last year, and took the missus with me, and we did a bit of a tour around all the local haggis stop outs, and yeah, I've got a real taste for it now. So I thought I'd better do the groundwork. There's no point going to Scotland with Bruce to find the best haggis if I've got no benchmark. So I'm all haggis up now. I know a good haggis from a bad haggis. Is it the one with the longer right leg or the left leg? Can't remember. Something like that. Isn't it?
Depends what season you go.
Yeah.
I think it's the off season, isn't it, at the moment, though, Bruce? I think it's breeding season. And am I right in thinking that they're nocturnal as well?
No. I've seen them in the day. Many times in the day.
Have you?
Yeah, often in the potato fields. That's where you'll find them.
Are there a lot of potato fields in Scotland? Is that where they like to live? I don't know.
It's where you get chips, Andy. Haggis and chips. Gorgeous.
I'm sorry, I wasn't there. I was too worried about it.
It was a feeble attempt at humour.
So, Josh, that answers your question. It'll be coming soon. And if it doesn't, then it's obviously it's Chops'.
It probably won't, Josh. You'll blow me out again for another year. So we'll probably let's look at 2026.
It needs to happen.
Maybe Andy could join you to try it as well.
Well,
he's got nothing to do these days, he keeps telling us. So, yeah, come on.
I'm glad that you added me because I feel a little bit left out there. I have to say, the riding up to Scotland just to eat a haggis thing, that's a lot of effort, isn't it? Just for that. I mean, I have to say, I'm a huge fan of the Big Hunts series. I thought they're all hilarious. I particularly like the pasty edition. That was great. But God, well, I mean, where would you have to go? Where is the best haggis? Do you have to go to North Scotland, or I know you can do it there and back in a day like you nutters normally do?
We've got to go to Scotland to find out, Andy. We've got to go all over Scotland. So it'll be Scotland in a day, or say 2 days, right around Scotland.
This is the trouble, Andy. See, we try and set these things up, and I say to Bruce, let's do something easy and simple to get us back into it. And he's like, let's go away for a week, go all the way around Scotland, top to bottom.
Anyone can do that, Chopsy. Make it a challenge. Come on. You boys have got no minerals, I tell you. This is what I need to work with. This is the calibre of people I have to work with.
I'm with Chopsy. Best Dorset apple cake. What about that? That's much more up my street.
Yeah. We haven't done a sweet one yet either, so that could be quite good, couldn't it?
Surprised you didn't go for fairy cakes, Andy.
Outrageous, you cheeky devil. Anyway, thank you,
they're
Josh.
nice. They're tasty.
Thank you, Josh, for your call.
Cheers, Josh.
Take care, Josh.
Yeah, bye. Right, talk amongst yourself, chaps. I've just got to reset the burner phone. Oh my goodness me! I've got
Carol,
loads of
you need Carol on the phones, Andy. Why is Carol not on the phones? She should be fielding the calls, doing the sound effects.
She's on the gin in the back.
Somebody's texted me. I don't know why we're not doing this on the actual chat here, but somebody has texted me to say, where's Dickie Anus? And well, you know, I'll let
This
you
is
in a
a
little
big question.
I'll let you in a little.
He doesn't.
I stuck a little message around on our little WhatsApp chat tonight saying anyone free for a live thing. Chops in, Bruce, straight in there. Yeah, love to do it. Not a word from Dickie Anus. Hasn't even responded, has he?
Probably
He doesn't
Morocco.
call.
Probably
He
in
doesn't
Morocco,
write.
mate.
He never visits anymore.
It's ridiculous. Oh, anyway, you know what that means, folks.
There's somebody at the no, it's wrong.
We've got another caller. Who is calling?
Obvious, yeah.
Who is calling the Missenden Fly?
My name is Philip. How are you guys doing?
Hello, Philip.
I felt
Good.
Go on,
Hi there.
far away.
Guys, I got back into biking about a year ago. Got myself a 2024 Yamaha Tracer GT Plus, which I've been enjoying immensely.
Yep, nice bike.
And I did my first tour last year with a mate. We went up to Wales, which was really, really enjoyable. And we are doing the NC 500 on the first week, or actually the second week of May.
Oh, haggis
And I wanted just to
opportunity.
check with you guys. Yeah, I wanted just to check with you guys if there was any tips that you could possibly offer. We're doing it over 8 days, so 2 days up and 2 days down from the south of England, and 5 days in the tour. That's all I could afford from work. We booked all our accommodation, but just wanted to know if there was anything that we really should look out for or do when we're on tour.
Oh, there's loads of stuff, and we'll take it in order. I jumped in there quick so I could get a word in. But I'll go first, and then Chops it, and then Bruce, of course, will have a lot to say. So I would say, Philip,
Perfect.
it sounds like you've already booked your hotel, so this may be a bit immaterial, but when I did the NC 500, I bit off more than I could chew. Now, if you're Bruce, you'd do the whole lot in half a day anyway. But it took me, I think I took a week, and I found the roads are quite narrow and nadgery. And if you keep stopping for pictures like I do, it takes a lot longer to do a few miles than you'd think up there. It's absolutely stunning. You'll have a fantastic time. But don't try and do too many miles a day, I would say keep it less than 200. But that's just me because I'm a bit of a wimp. I've got other tips as well, but I'm sure John and Bruce have got others. So over to you, John. What would you say?
Well, I've never done it. I'm ashamed to say I've never done the. I've only ridden the motorcycle in Scotland once, and that was the Tiger Lord. Wasn't even my own bike. So I'm going to be very quick on this one and straight over to Bruce.
Sorry,
you
Philip.
make me sick, Chops. You make me sick.
You can't get the people, can you? Sorry, Philip. Come on, Bruce. Just have some quality.
Philip, so you got 5 days riding, doing what your route is actually the NC 500, or are you doing other bits along the way?
It's largely up until the last day where we decided not to go back via Inverness and head down. I forgot the exact route, but we basically teetered down towards south, basically from the last day. So we're not going straight back to Inverness. Otherwise, yes, we are predominantly doing the main route, correct.
Okay. Are you doing any of the Cairngorms at all?
What I can tell you is we are starting off obviously in Inverness after a 2 day ride up. So we're breaking the ride up into 2 days, starting off at Penrith, I think it was. The first night is in Wick, then we're in Durness, and then Ulipool and Applecross and across from there. So that's the general ride. But the last day we are basically heading more towards south and not going back towards Inverness.
Right, gotcha. Okay, you won't do the Cairngorms. The Cairngorms is like over toward, it's in Grampian, which is like Braemar, Ballater, sort of just west of Aberdeen that way, sort of ski area for Scotland. In that case, you've actually your stops. There's not too much riding between your stops, if you know what I mean, which will allow you to do the NC 500 route, but you can venture inland. Definitely venture inland. It's single track roads. You can't really go wrong. There's not many of them. So if you see a road turning like inland from the NC 500, just take it and follow your nose. Eventually, it'll dump you back out on the NC 500 at some point. And that's where there's some beautiful riding, some stunning scenery, and nobody there. In the middle, there's just nothing. So fuel, you don't really need to worry too much about fuel. Make sure you get fuel up near Wick. And then there's a 24-hour automatic place over at Durness. There's the chocolate place in Durness. Awesome, that's really good. If you've got time, do Smoo Caves, which is near Durness as well. That's well worth a little visit. It's just a wee walk down off the road, down the cliffs. Shut up, Andy. Top, really good. And then Ullapool, all that bit from Durness down to Ullapool, absolutely stunning. Just stunning. You'll love it.
And then just one more little thing, if I may just pop in there. Obviously, I'm conscious that these days when you go on a ride, you've got cameras and GPSs and everything attached to your bike, and you want to make quite a few stops along the route. With regards to putting all these things away, or your gear, whether it be your jacket or your helmet that you don't want to carry with you, is there anything that you can recommend to secure those items that's worthwhile doing that's not too heavyweight?
For me, I'll be honest with you, I leave everything on the bike. It's never a problem. I'll leave my lid on there. My cameras are normally sat there. Touch wood, I've never had anything taken. Well, other than I had tools nicked at the Isle of Man once out my tank bag, but everything else, absolutely fine.
That's
if you've got panniers...
500 though, isn't it?
Well, yeah. If you're talking about the NC500, no, nothing. Absolutely nothing. In the evenings, maybe lock your bike up, but again, the places you're going, you'll be fine.
Yeah, that will definitely be done.
And I don't know, Philip, how good your phone is, but the sound effect I've been playing for the last 5 minutes is heavy rain. So just make sure you take some waterproof.
If it's raining, you won't get the midges. So, it's a playoff.
Yeah, well, that was half the plan anyway.
Yeah, be ready for the midges.
Have a good time, mate. Enjoy.
Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Cheers, Philip. Thanks for calling in. Cheers.
Andy, before you take the next call, I'm just in the comments, checking the comments there, and Reese Humphreys raised an interesting point. Does wearing motorcycle helmets regularly increase the risk of baldness? Well, I don't know quite what he's talking about, if I'm absolutely honest.
Oh, blimey, that's a bit harsh. At least get the suntan before you get the hat off, blimey. Let's. You do wear a hat a lot, though, Chopsy. So you're obviously, are you a little bit vain about it?
I don't know. Yeah, I do. I do wear a hat quite a lot. I don't like a bald head, really. Look in the mirror and you think,
cheers, Chops. Thanks, mate.
I should have on myself. I don't mind.
He loses a bit of weight, and look at him, turns into a right arsehole.
I've always worn a hat. I don't know. It's like Casey Neistat used to say he wore sunglasses, not because he liked the sunglasses, but it's like his sort of personality. It's a bit like that with a hat, I think. I don't wear one all the time. It's only made on YouTube. I like to put a hat on.
Chops.
So, yeah.
Where did you obviously never bought that hat. Where did you mump that one from?
Oh, I did buy this hat. I've got
my arse, you don't spend your money on anything.
I didn't blag this hat, Bruce. Come along. No,
what new sponsor gave you the hat? Come on.
I nearly wore my pork pie hat tonight as well. So think yourself lucky.
That'll make us hungry, though. Anyway, a couple of observations. Bruce, you appear to be in your new hut down the end of the garden doing this. Has it worked?
Yes. New orifice.
Looks very professional. And I noticed you've got a mic, a similar, slightly inferior model to my own.
Yeah, the Shure. Yeah. The acoustics aren't that great in here, but
they're terrible.
Rubbish. By mistake. Speak to us, Bruce. There you see. You should.
I hit the mute button. That's right. That thing there. Bloody annoying that.
Mine doesn't have the mute button. Yeah, exactly.
Amateur. You're right.
If you buy the proper one without the big Shure written on the side, you don't get a mute button. So you don't have that.
You don't get it for nothing, then, Andy. You can't blag it. Then you see that's why.
Bought with my own money. Thanks very much. That one's like. Is that the one up from this? That one's like 700 quid or something. Stupid,
this is 700 quid, yeah. But the stand is yours, isn't it? Although I like to have a bit of redundancy, so I got two, Bruce.
He's such a prick, isn't he?
Well, I got a load of hate messages as a result. What kind of messages? Shall we have a little look through some of these messages? And by the way, folks, the phone line is currently free. If you want to phone in and have a chat about John's head or something, now's your time. Right. While you're looking at those messages, let me look. I've had a load of text come in. It says here, hi, Andy. Where is it? Where's that one that's just, it was hilarious. There was one from somebody that wanted me to call their husband a prat. Where's it gone? Oh!
You're going to start doing the old messages,
the
old voicemail messages, Andy. You could start that little service where you do the old record messages for people, charge a tenner a pop.
Is it a tenner a pop?
Bloody fortune. Bloody fortune.
I'll tell you what, I wish my eyes worked so I could see where these little cart buttons are, because guess what? Oh, yes. That'll be the old phone sound effect that means
on the line, caller.
Somebody else on the line. Hello. Who is calling the Missenden Flyer?
Hi, Andy. It's Niall. The
Niall.
regular caller.
Ah, Niall. He called last time, Bruce. You must remember Niall.
Hi, Niall. How are you?
He's become our first regular caller on the show.
I'm great. Thanks, Bruce.
I know.
Excellent. Good work.
You sound a lot different when you're not singing.
Right.
Don't encourage him, Andy. Don't encourage him.
The question this evening is, I'm a relatively new to the bike scene. I think I mentioned before, I've been biking a year.
Right.
And
welcome.
Recently, whilst filtering, I experienced my first road rage abuse from one of those lovely four-wheel drivers.
Well, they're not all.
And I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on filtering.
Well, that's very interesting. Number one, can I ask whereabouts you were? Which part of the country when this incident happened?
This happened going into York.
Ah, okay. So up north then. Because I was going to say, you'll find 4x4 drivers here in the south are very pleasant people indeed. So what? You were going into town, minding your own, doing everything legal. You weren't going too fast. You were just going down.
No. It was avoiding the traffic queue because there was some roadworks, and as I slowed down to come into a space, a kind driver slowed down next to me and called me the W word, and I went, "Have a nice day."
That's
but
the
I don't
right
think
response.
He was impressed that I didn't queue.
That's outrageous, isn't it? Why is it with drivers? It's perfectly legal to do this stuff.
Jealousy.
As long as you're not
Jealousy.
as long as you're not weaving through and going at like 70 and everyone else is stationary. Actually, Bruce, you probably know the rules on this better than me, isn't it? You're not supposed to go more than 10 miles an hour above the speed or something. What's the...
No, it's just a recommendation. Filtering isn't legal or illegal. They just advise that you don't filter like a twat, basically. So
is that the official wordage?
Kind of, yeah. Like with your speed, just try and, as Andy says, just try and be no quicker than 5 to 10 mile an hour. You use your own judgment, your own experience. I mean, yeah, I filter all the time. And if you're commuting in and out of like some of the cities, London in particular, you can't get anywhere unless you do commute. So, yeah, I mean, people are people, man. Just most people are great. There's the occasional arsehole out there. Just, well, never mind.
It's just getting used to this new way of living, like everyone's wanting to kill you while I can tell there's a difference.
Yeah.
At least he didn't drive into you. Sometimes sometimes you do get drivers. You see them. Some pull aside, don't they? And it's like Moses parting the waves. Other times you see them actually close the gap up when they spot you, which is outrageous.
Yes, that was happening to a bike in front of me further down the road. Yeah, people were actually pushing you over the line, and I just thought, well, this is getting ridiculous. So
that's crazy.
That's when I stopped, and the guy just decided to say a nice hello. But hey,
so
your thoughts anyway.
Where do you stand, Chopsy, on filtering with your full beam on?
I don't think that really matters having your full beam on. I tend to, if I'm on a bike with the exhaust on, I'll leave it in a lower gear so the rev's a bit higher, so you're making a bit more engine noise. And also always feel a bit rude because when I'm filtering, I'm covering the back brake, I'm covering the front brake, I'm covering the clutch in case I've got to suddenly slam on the rib. So I can't easily sort of wave and say thank you to people. So I'd always feel a little bit rude filtering, but you've just got to concentrate so much, haven't you? Covering everything, expecting anyone to pull across. So yeah, I do feel some if there's space, I'll give a little wave, but most of the time I'm just covering everything in case someone pulls out. But I've not had anyone cut me up or do anything really. So I guess I've been quite lucky in that respect.
That'd be more fool them, wouldn't it, if they hit you? Because they'd probably end up with a damaged car more than your bike is.
It'd be a new side of the car, wouldn't it? New side of the car for them. So.
Andy, just quickly, can I just ask you one other question? How are you enjoying really good Dave TV's BMW that you bought?
I don't know if you caught this chopped in, Bruce, but Dave from Really Good TV made an April Fool video saying that I'd bought his GSA. And you
really? I missed that one.
That thought that I had bought his GSA. And you wouldn't believe the number of hate messages I got as a result of that. Because I made a video many years ago saying that the new GS wasn't for me. It's a great bike, it's just not for me. people said that I was I can't actually say exactly what they said, but a turncoat. Let's say that, because I'd said that I'd never buy one and then I'd bought one. Unbelievable. The point that Dave actually had to put, well, he didn't have to, but he very kindly put a video up saying that I hadn't actually bought the GSA. But what?
Well done, Dave. Well done, Dave. What an excellent idea. I wish I'd thought of it.
It was a hilarious video. It was very good, but I can't believe how many people fell for it. So you didn't fall for it, Niall, did you?
No, I didn't.
No,
I did find it very amusing, though.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good video, wasn't it? It was great. But thanks for your call again, Niall. That's make it 3 out of 3 next time.
Yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks,
brilliant.
Guys.
Speak to you then. Wow.
Cheers now. Ta-ra, pal.
We got regular callers. Isn't that something else? Okay, anything coming through on the comments and Chopper that you can see?
I'm just having a look.
I think there's a new feature I've learned about. I'll show you. So, for example, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
On the screen.
Oh, wow.
Hello.
The best comment I've seen so far was from No Name Moto, and he says, "This is like Babe Station for old men."
Oh, God, I'm not sure how to take that.
Oh, old ladies, surely. Surely it's old ladies, not old men.
Chopsy, this day and age, mate, absolutely anything.
Never say never. Every hole's a goal and all that.
Oh, God. Let's not go. No. Stop it immediately. Okay.
I'm biting my tongue.
Let me read some texts that have come in. Hi, Andy. Captured live at last year's ABR the moment you squealed like a baby and I patted you on the shoulder. Oh, sorry. I think he sent me a photograph. Sorry, so that didn't quite work very well, did it? Here, that was from Big Carl, who gave me a massive slap on my shoulder. I'd just had an operation on, which was fun. You can imagine. Pierre. Oh, hang on. What else have we got? By all means, chip in, chat. So if you can read the comments, I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't actually see the comments. There are a few.
Someone says you look like a very balding Noel Edmonds.
Oh, you?
No, you don't. No.
You've got,
of course.
Not me. I haven't got the beard. Whatever happened? Whatever happened to Noel Edmonds? He was massive, wasn't he, in the swap shop years? And this is, on a similar par, isn't it? As Swap Shop was. And Bruce can be Cheggers. And I'm thinking you could be Maggie Philbin in that case. No,
was Cheggers? No, it wasn't Cheggers that was married to Amanda Holden, was it? Or was it?
Oh, absolutely
not.
Well,
no, that was
a comedian.
Oh, that was a comedian.
Yeah. What's his name?
Done Fortune.
Yeah, not Bobby Davro. What's he called?
No. But the question is,
guys, in the comments, we need to know.
How did he bag her?
God knows. Fantastic personality, Andy, obviously.
Absolutely incredible.
Plenty of cash.
Exactly. Les Dennis.
It's the same with you.
Cheers, that red VFR.
It's the same thing.
Oh, and Marky Mark.
Plenty of cash.
And Darren Mike.
Anyway, I don't know if you can hear that.
There's loads.
I don't know if you can hear that, folks, but the phone's ringing again.
Les Dennis, before you go to the phones, Les Dennis, thank you very much, Barry.
There's an echo in here.
I'm going to answer this ringing phone, all right? Hello, who's calling the Missenden Flight? You're through. You're live on it. This is great, isn't it? I love this. Oh, we can't hear. Hang on, I'm probably pressed the right button. Stand by. Sorry. Whoever you sorry, caller, stand by.
He does this full time,
Hang on.
You can tell he's a wannabe disc jockey, can't you?
Let's do that again. We can hear you now. Sorry, who's calling?
Yeah, it's Barry from Hunstanton.
Barry from Hunstanton, a Norfolk man, top fella.
How you doing, Barry?
Hi. I'm old as the hills. I've been riding for a while. I've got a GSXR K5, like you do.
Yep.
And my question to the panel is, what used bike would you buy for £2,000 or less?
Ooh. I think as Chopsy is a GSXR expert and a kindred spirit, we should start with you while me and Bruce rack our brains.
Yeah, I'm racking my brains as well. I'm sure I'd probably get, and I know they're out there somewhere. A friend had one who mentioned his neighbour had one, but a VFR 800. There's loads of those out. Cheap bike, do anything on it, won't never break down. It's a Honda. So probably one of those, because you're a bit limited at £2,000 really of what you can get, but I'm sure you could find an old VFR out there somewhere. Astronomical mileage on it, obviously, a bit like Richie Vida's. Hey, he might take £2,000 for his. You never know.
Yeah, let's have a go at him. Let's slag him off while he's not here. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. You should have joined, shouldn't he? Yeah, probably an old VFR, something like that. I'm sure you could get one. Two grandish, maybe 2.5. Definitely 2.5. You'll get one.
Good choice.
Go on, Brucey, go on.
I love the old Bandits, man. I really enjoyed riding the old Bandits.
Yeah.
I think you could probably get about 4 for $2,000, could you not? Yeah, I would get like an old 1200 Bandit. Just hoon it. It's a great fun. Great fun.
Turn it into a wheelie machine. Turn it into massive.
There's cheapest chips. It'll be cheap to insure. Loads of parts for it.
Yeah.
I
got a challenge coming on here. Maybe this could be a challenge, Andy. How good would that be? We'll go. It may have been done before.
We call it bike battle.
We'll go by a bike.
Yeah. A battle with bikes that are on a budget.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
So, Barry, any of those take your fancy, a VFR 800 or the old Bandit?
VFR, I had a Blackbird, so I think that would spoil that.
A Blackbird?
I was thinking of I had a Blackbird.
Blackbird. Sorry, you had a Blackbird. Right. So I thought you said something. Right, got it.
Just come back in the room, missed that. What was that?
You don't.
Well, it's subjective. I was thinking of a Phase 1000, but whatever. I tell you why I mention it is, more used bikes. Some of us can't afford 15, 20 grand, 13, 10 grand even. I know. Yeah. We just bought a bike for 9. Some of us want another bike. More used bikes. I mean, I know the manufacturers won't like you for promoting used bikes, maybe. But
no, that doesn't come into it.
We don't care about that, mate. Christ, nobody's in the pocket to a manufacturer.
No, they won't mind about that. And I've got a local dealer to me, Ross at Rotate Motorcycles, and I keep saying I've got to go down. I'm going to ride some of his used stuff, but there's just so much going on. I haven't had a chance. So there definitely will be some used stuff coming from me soon. And I've changed my mind on the VTR 800 now, Andy. I saw you down. I'd get an old FZR 1000. An old FZR 1000 I'd get. I really want one of those. Yeah. I looked at that the other day. That's what I'd get. An old FZR 1000 X up if you could get one for £2,000. Might be able to.
So I'm making the most of my new feature of highlighting these comments. There's loads of comments. I clicked on a few ones I didn't mean to, which was quite fun.
Dangerous game.
You all know a lot more about motorcycles than I do. So
I don't know what makes you think that.
Well, I think you must do, but it's interesting to know. If you picked used bikes you like or you favour. That would be of interest to me.
I did a series of used bikes when I used to be sponsored by Superbike Factory. Is that what they're called? I don't want to give them any advertising because they drop. But all they do is sell used bikes. And those videos did really well. I rode all the bikes that I'd missed out on because I only started riding about 14 years ago. So loads of bikes, like the Blackbird, for example, you mentioned, that I got to ride that I hadn't ridden. And it was fantastic. I really enjoyed doing that. And those videos always got massive views. Well, for me, like 50,000 plus, which is good for me. So I don't know why that little arrangement ended. But the problem is for us vloggers, it's quite difficult to get hold of secondhand bikes. And whilst we get very generously, we get viewers that say, "Oh, you can ride my secondhand bike." That's fraught with danger, as Bruce will tell you. And it wouldn't be a nightmare if you crashed one of your viewers' bikes and trashed it, whatever. So it's quite hard to do secondhand bikes, actually, Barry. But I agree, it would be fantastic if we could. And when we do get the chance, I'm sure we all try to. But it's harder than it seems, alas.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, we're all older, I feel like a young man. I'm 67, and I go out and I see these old men riding bikes. When I was a kid, we were all kids riding bikes, and now everyone seems so old. So these older bikes will draw, a public because we're all, I remember having one of those. It's like that, isn't it? Anyway, I'll let you go. Thanks for everything.
No, you don't have to let us go, Barry. Thanks very much for calling.
Yeah,
Call us next time. We need the calls. That's great. Excellent. It's interesting, isn't it? When Barry was saying about people being old geezers riding, I'm sure you look at your analytics. I mean, my average age of my viewers, Chopsy probably gets youths because of his sort of riding he does. but most of my viewers are between the age of 50 and 70. So it's definitely skewed towards the older, and obviously an awful lot of those are female, obviously, but well,
3%.
2%. Yeah, when I last looked. Are you similar, Bruce? Because you look very old for your age, so I imagine yours must be older than mine.
I think my average age is sort of 35 to I think the mid 60s.
No way.
Yeah, so hang on. Let me have a little look on analytics. I'll tell you.
Shall we play
now.
the analytics game? Shall we play the analytics game?
Oh, come on in. Let's do it. Let's do it. Keep yourself entertained, people. Right. Okay.
My biggest audience group is 45 to 54. That's my, and that is 25% of my audience is 45 and 54.
And that's
so
20.
Not that young.
That's 25% of your audience, you say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Interesting. One day we'll do a top trumps on our analytics. Maybe we'll do it on a live stream and we'll see how we get on. We'll start.
I'm not playing with Andy, Bruce. I'm not playing with Andy on that one.
Start with total number of viewers. I just passed 110 million. Isn't that incredible?
Jesus. Wow.
Blows your brain. Anyway, I think I can hear that telltale sound again, which means we have another caller. Hello, who's calling the Missenden Flyer?
Hello, it's Reese here. I made the comment about the baldness and motorcycle helmets earlier.
Reese.
How you doing, Reese? You're right.
You're brave, man. Good one.
How you all doing?
Excellent. Although Chops is feeling a little bit deflated after the head comment.
I had to put my hat on harder to put it on.
So where are you calling us from, Reese?
Cambridgeshire.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad. That doesn't count as north, does it? Not that north is bad.
No.
We'll quickly backpedal massively. I don't know Cambridge very well, actually. I don't know Cambridge very well, although I understand there's a university there. Is that correct?
There is. That's about all there is, to be fair.
Well, I thought
there's not a lot of scenery.
I thought it was supposed to be the centre of the future of Britain was going to be the Cambridge-Oxford corridor, and that was going to sort our economy out. Is that not the case? Aren't they building train lines and stuff and putting in infrastructure and filling your potholes?
Apart from making house prices extremely high, that's about all it's done, I think.
Yeah, tell us about it. What's your triple of choice tonight, by the way, chaps? You know I like Japanese food and drink. I'm on acai tonight.
Blackcurrant.
Oh,
it's a Tuesday, Andy. I'm on the Diet Coke, mate. You know, it's a Tuesday night.
What's going on? Reece, tell me you're not drinking blackcurrant juice.
Me?
Reece. No, of course you're not.
Well, I'm drinking squash.
This is my demographic coming back to haunt me again. I'm surprised you're not on glucosane or whatever it's called.
School night, Andy. It's a school night.
Mate.
I'm getting bladdered on Thursday night. I'm on a podcast Thursday night with somebody, so I'm getting bladdered then.
Oh, good. Well, I look forward to watching that. Whose podcast are you on, Bruce? Is it somebody good? Or can't you say?
Yeah, it's the average Bikers in a Cave. I'm on their one. You know, Scottish boys. I'm on their podcast. So you probably won't understand a word that's said.
I was saying we need to turn the subtitles on. When I was in Spain, I was watching Richie Vida's tour in Morocco. And when you watch YouTube in another country, it turns out they automatically translate it to the other language. So I sent Rich a video of me watching him in Spanish, and he had this macho Spanish voice, and it was brilliant the way it was done. And then a friend of mine said that they'd been watching me in France, and apparently the French have got a very high-pitched voice for me, dubbed on, which I felt somewhat annoyed about. Anyway, Reece, what do you ride in Cambridgeshire then? What's your bike of choice?
I'm on a 23-year-old R1150 GS at the moment.
Oh, good choice. Well, Chopsy may disagree, but I'm sure Bruce and myself will agree that an old GS is a good way to go.
Good bike. No, it's a good bike.
All good bikes. All good bikes. Whatever you like.
Yeah. But Bruce Course is a tractor still, but I don't think the new one's a tractor, Bruce, is it? It's pretty quick.
It's rapid, but it sounds horrible. Like that engine's horrendous. The sound of it, it's just horrible. It's a bag of nails. It's a bit. I've decatted mine. It's a bit better, but it's still.
I'd say, have you got that exhaust on it now, Bruce? Have you?
Yeah. I enjoy it now.
You weren't gelling quite much with it, was you?
It just wasn't engaging, mate. It was like to make the bike engaging. I was having to turn full traction control off, turn everything up to max. And then it's fun, but the second the roads get like damp, then she just spins everywhere. So, you know, it's kind of like, well, fun, but I'm going to die. I'm going to throw this down the road. Putting the decat system on, the bike, you know what it's like when you decat them. It just breathes better, and like even the quick shifter and the blipper work a lot better now. So, and it sounds lovely. So yeah,
So
I'm enjoying it now.
Are you tempted by a newer version of the GS, or are you happy to stick with the 1150?
Well, in all honesty, I've just seen they've launched a new R12 GS, haven't they?
Oh yes,
Which is
the
a bit more
retro one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks
I
good,
quite
doesn't
like
it?
the look of that.
Does look good.
Yeah.
Quite expensive though, I seem to remember.
Yeah, considering it's like a previous generation engine, obviously upgraded, but
Yeah.
it's
That said,
it is a bit pricey. I think it's about 16 grand, isn't it?
yeah, and then by the time you've added heated grips and an on button, then you're looking probably at 18, aren't you? But it's not as expensive as Bruce types of GS, the new 1300. I mean,
no, it's not a 30 grand bike.
Yeah. To be fair, I think I don't know, Bruce, but one of your spec, I imagine, is what, 24 grand, something like that.
No, 21 450. Mine was.
Was it? Blimey, what did you forego to get one so cheap? I spec one up on the.
I didn't buy the luggage with it. Well, I went back and bought the top box. Well, actually, when I picked mine up, I bought the top box. Biggest regret I've ever made. And do not buy the BMW luggage. It's shite.
Did I not tell you that? Did I not tell you that?
Yeah, well, you know.
I made a video about it. It's rubbish. That central locking. What a pile of.
Prefer soft luggage.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I didn't get I didn't get that ride height assist thing, you know, when it drops down, and I didn't get any of that rubbish. I didn't need that. So it's just a standard dynamic GS.
So I suppose you forgave if you didn't bother with heated grips and all that namby-pamby stuff.
Oh no, yeah, it's got all that. It's a TE spec. It's got all that. It's got quick shifter, blipper, cruise control, automatic. Yeah, heated seats.
They're good, aren't they?
It's got everything.
Heated seats.
21,450 it was.
Wow, that's a lot.
I just bought a new seat. I just bought the Wunderlich seat on it.
Yeah, again,
all you midgets moaning about adventure bikes, saying they're too bloody tall. Well, they dropped the GS down to, they dropped it by 20 mil. It used to have a seat on it that you could make low, medium, or high, but with the 1300 standard GS, they got rid of all that, and it's too low now. I'm riding with my knees around my ears, so I've just had to spend 450 quid on a bloody Wunderlich seat.
I'll tell you what, Bruce. Again, you should have looked at my review of the Wunderlich seat, because once you've ridden to Scotland on that Wunderlich seat and back, you won't be quite so sure about what a good purchase it was. I'm sure. They're bloody.
I think I'll be fine, Andy. I think I'll be fine.
Is all I'm saying. Anyway, all right.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'm 6'5". Every modern bike is too small.
Exactly. And still these midgets are moaning, just buy a small bike. If it's too big, never mind.
Well, there aren't these small bikes.
Ridiculous.
You can go off people, Reese. Splendid. All right. Well, we're all GS'd out now, I think. So thank you, Reese, for the call. Yeah. Don't be a stranger. Give us a call on the next one. Thanks.
See you. Ta-ra. It's nice to talk to a normal-sized human again.
Here we go. So, Chopsy, talking about people getting fed up with new bikes, it didn't take long for the old shine to come off the Hornet, did it?
I knew you'd bring this up. I was just playing the YouTube game. You know, you've got to do these things. You've got to come up and it's backfired a little bit. If you don't know, Bruce, I put up a video saying 10 things I hate about my new Hornet SP. I'll take a leaf out of Andy's book because it's the first time I've ever done it.
It's exactly what I thought when I saw it.
And I thought take a leaf out of Andy's book. Yeah. I know it'll do well because obviously everyone loves to know a story about something not working properly or things you're not happy with, don't they? If you say 10 things you love about the bike, no one's interested, are they? But you mentioned 10 things you don't like, they're all over it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got a little bit of stick about that, and everything I mentioned was, just little niggles really. Apart from it is a bit small, tight in the seat for a larger rider. So that is, and you did say that to me, Andy, before you jump in and say you told me that on the test ride you're going to find it a bit tight. It is a bit tight, but everything else it's just little things you find with every bike really. But because some people have said I had one on order, I've cancelled my order now, I'm going to bought something else because of this. I'm like, whoa, don't rush into this sort of stuff, ride the bike first, Don't,
exactly. I like these people that buy bikes without test riding them. I mean, are you nuts?
Nutters.
I just don't understand it.
I test rode the standard one. I just didn't test ride the SP because you couldn't get hold of them at the time. But it's a little bit hard, the suspension, but it's fully adjustable. It's decent, so I just backed it off a little bit. and it's made it much more comfortable. I bought the what they call the performance seat, which is like the suede seat option. I thought that might be a bit more comfortable than a standard seat, but it's not. It's like a
My
plank of wood,
ass,
basically.
my ass.
Yeah, that's what it's like up half an hour on it on the other seat. So it is much better with the standard seat on, suspension backed off a little bit, and the other things are just little niggles that you'll get with any bike, not just 10 grand bike. You know, you get the same amount of niggles on a 20 grand bike, 30 grand bike. So, but yeah, it's backfired a little bit, that video. So I need to get my top 10 things I love about the Honda Hornet out soon.
Out quick.
How quick for Honda see the video.
Despite the things that you don't like about it, I mean, there is no doubt for the money, it's an amazing.
And at the end of the video, I said there is not a better sports naked for £10,000. You know,
yeah, no, very true.
I stick by that, absolutely. But if you were to spend another £5 grand and get an S1000R or even an MT10, then it could be better. But it's what your budget is, isn't it? And
or indeed go second hand.
Go second hand. A lot of people say that in the video, but you can't really compare a new bike to what you can get second hand. Not really. I mean,
it's not a direct comparison.
It's a different class, isn't it? If you're getting a brand new bike, you know, it's brand new, no one's ever ridden it. You can't say it's the same as getting another bike, the second-hand bike, even if it's only got 1,000 miles on it. It's not quite the same as getting something new.
No, but you could get the new Hornet, or you could get, say, a second-hand Street Fighter. So, which would you rather have, Chopsy?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't get an old Street. I like the new one. The new one's amazing. And the problem is I've been really spoiled as well with new bikes I've been riding. So
yeah, well, exactly. Will. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you can hear that. It sounds like an old phone ringing again. That must be one thing. We got another call. So it stopped a bit abruptly, the ringing there, didn't it? Hello, who's on the line?
Hi, mate. It's John.
Hey, John. How you doing?
Hey, John.
All right, yourself?
Hi, John.
Pretty good. The weather's taken a turn for the worst here. I don't know about where you are. Bit miffed about that?
It does. I'm up Lake District. It's not nice up here at the moment.
No, it's called the Lake District for a reason as well, isn't it? So it's, Bugger. Sorry about that. Anyway, what's on your mind?
No, well, I've got a GSA at the moment, but I'm having trouble with my left leg.
Right.
So I'm out shopping for another bike, and I've fallen for a Tracer 900.
Right.
Obviously, I'm 6'3", and I'm a big lad as well.
Ah, you're in the Chopsy League.
If it's a good decision or what?
Yeah, I think so. I've done a fair bit of miles on the Tracer. It's a good bike. It's very sporty, the Tracer. So I found the suspension all, set on the sportier side than the comfort side. It's a bike which is very engaging. I remember it fitting all right for me, and I'm 6'2", 20 stone. And yeah, I found it fine, comfort point of view. So I think you'll be all right. The only niggle with them is the screen. The screen is not very good standard, but if you just get like a 20 quid add-on from eBay to go on top of the screen just to deflect the air a little bit, problem solved. It is a good bike.
Yeah.
Fantastic engine as well.
I did not
fantastic engine. Yeah,
on my head when I was going down dual carriageway.
Sorry, say again.
I said I did feel a bit of buffering on my head when I was going down dual carriageway.
Yeah, you will need a little add-on screen on top of the standard screen. It directs the air directly at your helmet and just get the vibration.
That's the worst, isn't it? That sort of turbulence is the worst sort of thing as well, isn't it? I mean, they shield all your torso and shoulders, and you only need a little bit of vibration on the top of your head. It can really ruin your ride, can't it?
Yeah, I'd rather have no screen at all than that. I'd rather ride with nothing.
Yeah, smooth airflow is the key.
Yeah.
So have you already bought it, John, or you're thinking of it? Sorry. Oh, you bought it, you said.
I've not. I've been in test road a couple yesterday at local dealership.
Yep.
But I'm just on the fence because I had a 1050 Tiger Sport before my GSA.
Oh, great bike. Yep.
So I'm just torn on what to go for. I want something that's not too heavy, but not too small in the TC, but that I don't look like an idiot on at the same time, if you get what I mean.
What about something like a V-Strom?
See, I like the V-Strom, but I don't like the front end.
Yeah, I'm the same. I borrowed one recently. In fact, my next video is about the V-Strom, and it rides lovely. I did find it a little bit heavy, to be honest, but the front end looks a bit too much like a duck for my liking. I don't know
what. 100%.
What about the GX? What about the GX? Or was it out of the price range at the moment? Because it only came out last year, didn't it?
I'm looking between like $5 grand and $7 grand, really. So I'm looking at like a 22 or 22 plate Tracer.
Yeah, I don't think you can go far wrong, to be honest. There, you've got the Japanese reliability as well, haven't you? With that, that's it's a proven engine that triple. Sounds lovely.
What about another GS? Or have you done that now?
Something exciting, Andy said.
Arthritis in my left leg.
Right, but
I'm just struggling when I'm coming up to junctions and stuff, putting my left leg down and that. I'm just.
Oh, so you want something lighter?
End up toppling.
Ah, okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, maybe a V-Strom's not a good idea. Then that felt quite heavy to me. It's quite top heavy, that bike. What else? What's light and large, Bruce? Can you think of anything? There's not. I mean, this is the trouble, isn't it? The bigger the bikes are, the heavier they are, and they tend to be a bit top heavy. Worse, isn't it? Tricky one. I think, in fact, of all the ones I've ridden, I think the Tracer probably feels the lightest of those sorts of bikes. So I think you're on the right track, John.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
No, that's fair enough.
Anyway,
I just wanted a bit of advice, really.
We're rubbish, aren't we? Sorry about that, but thanks for calling in anyway. Very nice to hear from you.
No
Don't
worries,
be a stranger.
Cheers,
John. See you
Thanks for calling. Andy, I'm going to have to love you and leave you, I'm afraid. I said I might have to drop off.
Watch out, I thought we've got chopped for longer.
Yeah, well, maths has started now, so I don't want to miss my maths, Okay. I'm only joking. That's what the message is watching. I'm only joking, honestly. Yeah.
You got to get your priorities right. Thanks, John, for joining. Great to see you, mate.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, Chelsea.
See you soon.
I'll see you, mate.
I'll extricate him. There we are. He's gone. He's gone like he was never with us, Bruce. He's a flipping heart.
It's worse than a man down anyway.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Did we ever get to the bottom of who Amanda Holden was shacked up with originally?
Yeah, Les Dennis.
Les Dennis. That was him. What is that all about? I don't know. Strange, isn't it? Have you seen her husband now? Not that I follow her on Instagram or anything.
I follow her on Instagram, but I've never seen a fella.
Well, he doesn't make an appearance often, but he's got an abundance of hair and he could not look any different to Les Dennis. Honestly. In fact,
to be fair.
Yeah, well, he looked I'm sure he was wearing makeup last time I saw him. He's very pretty for a bloke, put it that way. I don't want to go too far down this route because it might all sound a bit odd. But anyway,
at the risk of sounding really bitchy, she's not exactly the same person she was when she was with Les Dennis, is she? She's had a fair bit of work done and looks different.
I imagine so.
Still gorgeous.
It's worked, though, isn't it? It's worked. Anyway.
Hey, Pete English put me onto her Instagram, so cheers, Pete.
Really? Pete, you dirty man. Anyway.
Dirty, I've made.
Oh, that strange noise in the background must mean... Here we go again. Hang on, let's make sure it's working. Hello, who's calling the Missenden Flyer?
Hello, it's Josh from earlier on.
Josh again? My goodness me! This is incredible. You're properly a
Can't keep away.
Yeah, what was it you forgot?
Right. The question is about the Chinese bikes. I know some of you have had experience with them, and some of you haven't. Right. And would Brucey be up for a challenge of a local dealer on one of them if he got the chance? With them, and some of you haven't.
On doing a challenge on a little Chinese bike? Yeah, no worries. I went around the UK on a Sinus. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. Yeah, for the money. Tis what you think. Yeah, no probs. What are you thinking and where am I going?
Well, that's up to you. What would it mean to a dealer? It would be a good promotion act to see how reliable they are. Because I remember on one series you went round on a GS and you didn't get very far.
Yeah, that was the first of the 1250 GSAs, wasn't it? 2019. That was the hot start issue BMW had. Yeah, I've just done it on the 1300 GSA automatic. That did it fine. I've done it on the 125 Sinus. That did it fine. Did it on the electric bike. Did it fine. Don't really know what else I could do, to be honest, Josh. It's
the thing
is
a
challenge. It's it.
Yeah, but I don't know if Josh was referring to more the new breed, so the likes of the it immediately goes out of my mind, the new breed. But to the Vosges, things like that. Have you ridden
the Vosges? Yeah. I think I've got a Vosges coming at some point.
Yeah, I rode the 900, and the 550s or 500 off, so I was pretty impressed with them. And I weren't quite there yet on one or two things, but again, for the money, unbelievable. And it's one of those things. Ignore them at your peril. I think they are going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure. whether you like, the fact that
most of our bikes, like the component parts, if not the engines, they're made in China and Thailand and India. It's like, your bike, you buy a European bike, it's not made in blooming Europe. It's made elsewhere and then sent, even the Triumphs, they're made elsewhere and then sent back to UK and bolted together, made in Britain. Well, it's not, is it?
Exactly.
It's made elsewhere and then put together here. Anyway.
That's right. Anyway, thanks, Josh, for your call again. That's good. That's two in one night. That's it. You did well.
Cheers, Josh.
Cheers, mate.
Bye, mate.
Cheerio. So Bandit Man has obviously got a bit of a thing for Maggie Philbin. Do you spell Philbin like that? I'm not sure. If,
Maggie Phil. Was she Tomorrow's World?
She was, and she did. I think she married Keith Chegwin. Do you remember Keith Chegwin did that naked thing on TV on Channel? Remember that?
How off his box on something must he have been?
What was that all about? Absolutely.
Cocaine's a wonderful thing.
And we've not seen him on the TV since, have we?
No.
So that's strange, isn't it? But I don't think he's that rich. He hasn't got a lot going for him, is all I can say. Oh, I think in the background, is that the sound of an old in here? I think there must be another caller on the line. Who's calling in this time? Who's on the line?
Hi, it's Simon.
Simon.
Hi, Simon.
Hello, mate. All right, nice to hear from you. Actually, it's been great watching you over the last few years.
Oh, fantastic!
I've really been into the Michelin Flyer and Teapot one. It's a shame Chopper's run off, but never mind.
Why were you going to slag him off?
No, he commented about liking the SLR1000 of old, and this was one of my questions actually was what if you had the opportunity to have a go on one of those widow makers back in the 70s, like an H1.
Yep.
How would you compare that to the latest batch of sort of computer controlled bikes of this day and age? I come from a long line of motorcyclists from back in the 70s and going through all the different stages of technology on the bikes, and found that I still get more of a enjoyment riding something that's going to spin you off on the next bend than the new bikes that sort of try and stop that happening. I just want to know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, well, it's a great question. I'm not sure I can answer it because, as I mentioned, I've only been riding bikes for like 14 years. So stuff from back in the 70s and 80s passed me by. Unfortunately, I wasn't really into bikes as a kid, which is I was, but I wasn't allowed to be. So hence I didn't focus on it. I was more into aircraft. Anyway, my point being, I haven't ridden them, so it's difficult to say. I mean, the oldest bikes I've ridden are things from like maybe the 90s when I did that series I mentioned earlier. When I did some second-hand bikes, not quite the vintage you're talking about, Simon. But I have to say,
you did have a shot. You did have a shot on Milliard's KH or his H1. He had a Kawasaki triple, didn't he?
I did, but that was a little bit different to your normal, wasn't it? It'd been breathed on by Alan in his inimitable way. Yeah, exactly. And in fact, thinking about it, last year I did ride a 108-year-old Harley Davidson. And I saw that. I have to say, I struggled to feel the difference between the 108-year-old one and today's one. There was no difference whatsoever. But I'm sure if you went on a Kawasaki from the 70s and now, it would be different. But I have to say, though, when I've ridden older bikes, I very much enjoy riding them. I do like, one of the things that I like about being a motorcyclist is the bike itself and the mechanics that are employed in it and some of the fixes that they used to do back in the 60s and 70s when you go around bike museums and you look at the different types of suspensions and what have you, or braking systems and so on, and everybody ends up with the same one in the end. But it's fascinating to see how they've evolved, and I do appreciate them from a sort of mechanical engineering point of view. Although I'm rubbish with spanners myself, I'm very into engineering. So from that perspective, I very much enjoy them. And also, I find that some of the electronics, and this was my gripe with Bruce's bike at the moment, is that some of the electronics can get in the way of enjoying the bike. I'm sure if you own a new bike with all the electronics, you set them up and you probably don't touch them again. But I find they can distract a bit from just the raw joy of riding. So I love riding. Exactly. I love riding simple bikes. There's no riding mode. You jump on and you just ride the thing. And there is a certain loveliness about the sound of the engine, the fact that you can feel the suspension doing its thing and all that stuff. So I completely get that. But on the same token, I also have a splendid Honda Goldwing, which couldn't be any more, is super smooth.
I know.
So I'm a bit hypocritical when I say that. I mean, the fact is, for me, I like both. So it's a long waffly answer. I'm not even sure I answered it, but over to you, Bruce.
I'm kind of similar to you, Andy. I didn't start riding until 2008. So I never, and I've got no experience.
Aren't you?
Bruce,
that's it. So I think the oldest, other than I rode some real classics from like 1915, 1920, 1930s sort of era. I rode them just to see what that would be like. But obviously they're just not. It's not comparable to the modern stuff. Outside of that, 2005 Gixxer Thou, I had one of them. My current Gixxer Thou, that's 2011, but it's got no mod cons on it. There's no traction control, there's no blipper, nothing. It's just the bike. I don't know. Like the only time I've found the electronics interfering with my ride is when I've ridden a bike with cheap electronics. So that's when you can feel like them cutting in when you don't need them to cut in. Other than that, I don't. Unless you've wound it right up, then I don't really notice it, to be honest.
No, I understand.
I mean,
that.
keeps you safe.
Yeah, I've got a K1200S, and that's a sort of step back from what you guys are riding at the moment. And it makes me feel like I'm still riding back in the 70s. If you see what I mean?
Okay,
I'm ashamed to say, Simon, I'm not sure what a K1200S is. Is that a BMW? The belt drive one?
BMW, yeah. It's the four. You rode the K1300S.
Yes.
Remember?
So has it got the belt drive?
No. This is a shaft drive.
Is it? Right. I clearly don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's the sports store. It's a nice bike, but it hasn't got all the gizmos on.
Yeah.
I just like the way it handles. But,
I have to say,
it hasn't got the wooden brakes of the 70s. That's for sure.
Yeah, all the leather ones. I am surprised sometimes when that by BMW actually. Sometimes models crop up from like the 90s and noughties that I've never heard of, and they look flipping fantastic, particularly in the sport touring lineup. There's been some good bikes that BMW made that have come and gone and completely passed me by. So it's back to that point we mentioned earlier. It would be fantastic if we had access to these sorts of bikes without any hassle, and we could ride them, because there are some great machines out there. And it just goes to show, like that other comment when we were talking about bikes for less than $2,000, you don't have to spend 15 grand to have a nice motorcycle.
Exactly. That's what I agree with you totally. It's great talking to you guys, and keep it up. I'm really impressed with the work you put in, and I love watching you every time you post a new video.
Fantastic. Thank you, Simon. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much.
Take it easy.
Don't be a stranger. Call us next time. What a nice man he was, Bruce. We don't deserve
Wasn't he? It's lovely. You've got lovely people following your channel.
Well, he loved you too. He wasn't so keen on John, if I remember. Was that him or was that Josh?
That's because John's a twat.
It's a little bit shocking. He did. At least he responded to the WhatsApp and, came here.
Oh, unlike Dickie Vegas.
Well, some people we could mention. Exactly right. Hang on, I'm pressing the button there because you know what? That little tinging noise. Oh, we've only got another caller, Bruce.
Thought you'd be Dickie Vegas.
Should we see who's on the line? I'll tell you what. I'll let you answer this one. I'll point to you when to speak.
Good evening, caller. Welcome to TMF Livestream. How may we help you?
Hiya.
Oh, it's a woman.
Of course it would be a woman. Of course it would be a woman. Hi, how you doing?
Calling a special. I'm good, thank you. It's Tracy from Warwickshire.
Hi, Tracy. Hello, Tracy. Another regular caller. This is excellent. We've got two regular callers now. Some a bit too regular if you're Josh. What's on your mind, Tracy?
Well, I'm a bit gutted. I wanted to talk to Chopsy because I've got a hornet.
I tell you what, you can go right off, people. I've hung her right off already. I haven't really, Tracy. I did fade you down temporarily. You're back again. You get a reprieve. Don't mention him again. No, he was on earlier, and frankly, we'd had a little bit too much of him.
He's got no commitment. No commitment.
And did you see his hair? Did you see his hair? He took that cap off.
I never knew he was bald.
I tell you, and it didn't look in that sort of dingy room that he showed up in. He didn't even wear a jacket. Have some respect.
He was in his pajamas, Andy. He was in his pajamas.
Where's his ABR T-shirt?
Well, again, I didn't want to go on about that, Bruce, but are you in the 2022 model?
Yeah, it's the last one I went to, yeah.
Oh, my goodness me. You need to get with the program, mate. This red one's far better, isn't it? Have you not got the 2025 one yet? Have they not sent you one?
I'm not going. No.
Yeah.
They haven't sent me
I've
one
done
either.
it.
I just said that. I haven't got one yet. Are you going, Tracy?
No, I'm not going.
Oh.
Jamie, who's going on tour with Bruce, he's he's like, no, I'm not paying that kind of money for it. Nope.
Blimey. I'm not here to sell ABR, but I think it's actually quite good value for what you get. If you like that. If you like camping and you like live music and mixing with a load of drunken old blokes, fantastic.
I'm too old for camping now.
Yeah, me too. I don't do that. I just waft in and out from a fancy hotel somewhere near the place.
Take your motor home, don't you? Drive your big lorry in.
Yeah, I've got
the sides out.
I couldn't possibly
How
comment.
the other half live.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I wish it was one of them. I don't know where you get this idea from, Bruce. There's you in your fancy studio at the end of your garden.
It's a garden shed.
Well, it's a pretty fancy one. Look at that fancy light you got in the corner there. Blimey.
What, this thing?
Yeah.
Amazon special, that is.
Look, I've got an on-air sign. It doesn't even light up. Oh, rubbish that is.
But
Anyway.
you've got guitars on your wall.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but they're only pictures of guitars.
I forgot you were on the bread line, Andy. I forgot all about that, yeah.
They're not pictures. They are actually real, to be fair. But the number of people that ask me, when am I going to play them, that ain't ever going to happen on here, okay? Anyway, Tracy, now we're getting to know you because you've been a regular caller. Our second regular caller. This is good. Well, just remind me where you're calling from.
Warwickshire.
You did say that. You did say. Whereabouts specifically? Because Bruce knows that area quite well.
Oh, Southam.
Ah, Bruce.
Don't know that well. It's in England, isn't it?
Like where?
Yeah. Warwickshire, that'll be where Warwick is, isn't it? And there's a castle there. I think I've just exhausted my...
There is.
Yeah. Are you anywhere near the castle?
That's it. A few miles away, 10, 15 miles away, something like that.
Will you be visiting this season?
Not too far. No.
On the bike?
Not
on the bike? No, too busy. Too busy this time of year. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Shopsy kept saying he wasn't drinking because it's a school night. What is he talking about? It's the Easter holidays. He hasn't got a clue, has he? You don't really want to talk to people like that, Tracy. He'll mess you up.
And he works from home, doesn't he?
I don't know what that job he's got is something else, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
He does more trips away on launches and stuff than I do, and I was supposed to do this full time. It's outrageous. Anyway, Tracy, thanks for your call.
Okay.
Do call next time.
No problem. I'll speak to you next time.
Will do. Thank you. We look forward
Cheers,
to
Tracy. Say hello to Jamie for us. Ta-ra.
Take care.
What a lovely lady. That's great, isn't it? See, we had to.
I love her.
Now, I think we've had about 10 callers, so that's a 10% hit rate on females. That's not bad, is it? That just shows you. That's because you're on here, Bruce. You've
obviously, Andy. Obviously.
Have you ever thought about getting yourself a cap?
A cap? I've got a selection of caps over there somewhere.
Cover up your bald head when you're doing videos that's not on your bike.
No, I don't care. I mean, do I look like someone that cares what people think of how I look? No.
Well, but does John look like somebody? I mean, no. Yeah, he has.
No, but he's got a thing about it, hasn't he? He's got a thing about his bald head.
Isn't that a bugger though? If you have to have a bald head, I'm not bothered either. But then you and I have got nice shaped heads. His was a bit frightening, wasn't it?
I didn't notice. I didn't look. What was wrong with it?
Colour. It was more the colour than the shape, I think, to be fair. But anyway, thank goodness he's not here to hear this. Anyway,
you'll be listening or you'll watch it again. Definitely.
Well, do you reckon? We'll see. Oh, there's hang on a minute. Oh, there's that noise again, Bruce. I'll tell you what, you did a top job with Tracy. Let's cue Bruce.
Good evening. This is a TMF live stream. What's your name, caller, and how can we help?
I'm Simon. Just a query for both of you because you're all new riders. When you started, did you through your career have you actually just made a list of like the favourite parts of your bikes? Like I started off on a chain-driven S1B 250. I then got a CB500T, the original, and then started over with the drive bikes, the CB500 or CX500, and then I got the GS650 GT. And through the years of different riding different bikes, I came up with a criteria of what I wanted of a bike.
Which was?
Well, I've now got the Motor Guzzi V85 TT because I wanted decent lighting when riding on unlit roads.
Yep.
I wanted shaft drive for easy maintenance.
Yep.
I wanted an adventure style bike because I found the seating position was more comfortable for me.
Makes sense.
And that just ticked all the boxes I needed.
Mm-hmm.
I just wondered if any of you have actually looking at a bike gone, oh yes, this is what I like. I want this.
Yes, is the answer. Sorry, I missed you. I had a bit of a technical problem with my headphones, so I missed your name. Sorry. Who's calling?
It's Simon.
Simon, another Simon. Thanks, Simon. Sorry, I missed you.
Yeah, it was another one.
I don't know what happened.
We met at the NEC a couple of years ago.
I remember it well, Simon. Nice to see you again. Well, I can't see you, but you might be able to see me. But yeah, the answer is yes. I mean, when I bought my GS, and I don't want to make this too GS-centric, but there are a lot of people out there that have GSs, particularly at our ages. That GS that I've got, mine's a 2013, ticked all the boxes for me. There's absolutely everything I want. It's comfortable, powerful. It's got as much electronics as I want, and that absolutely fitted my requirements when I bought it, and it still does, to be honest. Which is why I've still got it, and which is why I was a little bit disappointed with the new ones because they didn't quite fit my requirements as much. I didn't find them quite. It was a bit more sporty than I needed. The carrying capacity was rubbish with the bags that BMW was supplying at that point. My pillion wasn't so keen on being on the back of it. But that original GS fitted the build perfectly, and I've still got it as a result 12 years later. So that worked for me. What about you, Bruce? You change your bikes more than your underpants, don't you?
Every couple of years, yeah. I think my sort of wet dream bike is probably about to come true quite soon, which is the KTM with the BMW backup. So if BMW buy KTM, happy days. I would be getting. I've not ridden the 1390 Super Adventure, but I loved the 1290 Super Adventure, and it was purely not so much reliability, but what happens if anything happens, like the dealer network support. That's what, and the manufacturer support. That's what put me off. Why I've stayed with BMW. So if BMW acquire KTM and that side of things comes up, happy days.
Who knows? Do you think that's likely to happen, Bruce?
No,
I don't. You do?
Yeah. No, yeah. Oh God, yeah. I think it's happened. I didn't say that, but yeah.
Well, I mean,
I can see that happening.
Something like that might happen. I just can't see it succeeding. But anyway, I just don't. I think the financial hurdles that KTM have are just so great that they won't overcome them. I don't think they'll be around in a couple of years' time. I hope I'm wrong, because we don't want to be losing major bike manufacturers, do we?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think if I was someone in the decision-making department for BMW, I'm sure they've recognised that there's a very devoted following of KTM, and there's a lot of people like me out there who would like to try the ownership of a KTM, but
the trouble is, you'd be
like the package you get with BMW.
But you'd be bidding the BMW to do it, so they're just.
Yeah, but it's all going to be the same brand then, isn't it? So the sale with KTM is still a sale with BMW, isn't it? It's still coming into the same.
Yes, but they'd have twice the asset. They'd have twice the asset to run, though, wouldn't they? Anyway, we'll see what happens. Where do you stand on the whole KTM thing, Simon? Have you got a view?
Well, I think the new bikes have begin to, because they've got so much electronics on them, they've begun to lose their appeal. My bike has got got ABS, which I think that's one of the best electronics they can have.
Yeah.
But the new KTM, I think they've overbloated it. They've put too much electronic. Most bikes now, they've gone too much electronics. The older bikes where the control was your brain and your hands, and you controlled the bike, and it was you who controlled the bike rather than having someone in the background saying, "Oh, we've got to slam this on, we've got to slam that one, and we've like the KTM now. It's just got too. I think it just looks too much. They need to slim it down slightly for what it is. It's like the BMW. They've changed the style of it with the new 1300. I don't like. I think it looks like someone's hit a GS up the backside, and they went, "Oh, we can't bother to straighten it. Let's make that as a bike." Because they've shrunk it, and it's just lost the. I think it lost the style. And I think KTM it's done the same. I think most of the bikes have done the same.
It's weird, isn't it? Bikes.
You were saying earlier on, like the Vogue.
Yeah.
I saw one of those alongside a BMW F 900, and side by side, or you couldn't really tell the difference. When you got close, the only real difference was the badge.
Yeah.
And the CF Moto 800 MT or whatever, that looks a lot better than the KTM. But basically, it is a KTM. It's got the same engine.
True.
Basically, Chinese, it's cheaper, but for the money, a similar looking bike. It's about half the price.
Yeah.
And as I say, both made the engines are KTM based anyway. So I think if you're going to buy one, go for the Chinese version because it's cheap. You're saving money, and if there are any issues, you're going to have the same issues because it's the same book.
Yeah, I get what you mean, Simon, and I agree to an extent. Where do you stand, Bruce, on the whole? I get whenever I do a Chinese bike review, for example, I get a lot of flack about saying that they're any good because it's made in China and we shouldn't support Chinese regimes, which I get. They're not, the politics isn't great. But, when, as our friend Donald Trump found out, when you try and not buy anything Chinese, they're in everything anyway. So
exactly, we're in a place now in life where if you don't want to buy anything that's made abroad in China or India or anything like that, good luck buying anything. Like, it's certainly at a price that we can afford, because anything that's going to be manufactured here in the UK is going to be way out of our price range. Electronics.
Rubbish.
When you said about electronics, I think the main problem with this is, if these bikes didn't have electronics, we'd be throwing ourselves down the road, throwing ourselves into hedges. The reason they've got the electronics is to tame the power that these engines have got nowadays. And the reason the engines have got such power is to overcome the emissions. The emissions are getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So in order for the manufacturers to up the game in terms of the figures, which everybody wants. You can say we don't want it, but the sales suggest we do want it. So in order to compete with each other, they all keep upping the engine size, and that allows them to keep the same sort of performance, but within the emissions range. If you don't have any of these gizmos on the bikes, most of us would kill ourselves within a few months, I'm sure. So that's why they're full of electronics.
Anyway,
I think there's a lot of mid-range bikes out there. There's a lot of mid-range bikes out there, sort of in the 4 to 7, 8, 9, even 900 cc. How is that a mid-range? But do you know what I mean? There's a lot of good bikes coming into that now.
The Tiger 8, is it the 880 or 800? The Tiger Sport 800, isn't it? Or is it the 880? Your brain's going. That looks an amazing bike, doesn't it? It won't be loaded with electronics, but it's a sensible. Can't wait to have a go on it. It'll be great. Anyway, Simon, thanks for the call.
Yes, all right.
Cheers, Simon.
I'll see you at the ABR, Andy.
Yeah, we'll see you. If you see me and Mrs. Fly wandering about aimlessly, come and say hello. Good to see you. Oh, gone. Excellent. Oh, that was good. Marvellous. All right, have we got any comments coming in that we need to... hang on a minute. Elk Phaser is on. Elk Phaser 1 has commented. I can't read the comment because my eyes don't reach that far to the screen. But Elk Phaser 1, I've said this before, he's the person that got me into vlogging. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today. So thank you, Elk Phaser, once again.
Do you want me to read what he says, Andy?
Go on then. Is he slagging me off?
No, he's not. I think he's commenting. I think he's
yeah.
commenting to a previous comment. A chap called Christopher Ashley said, just traded a Phaser 600, 23 years old, and bought a 2018 1200 RS. After 4 weeks, I want the Phaser back. Elk Phaser said, wow, Chris, didn't you give the BMW a good test ride first? I know it takes a while to get used to a new bike, though. Again, people buying bikes without test riding. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Well, the thing is, it's not always that easy, is it, to actually test ride bikes? And if all the reviews are saying they're fantastic, you kind of go with it. But what a bummer if it turns out you're wrong.
But then I've seen. Sorry, go on.
No, what? Crack on.
I've seen so many people review, like, for example, the new automatic BMW, the ASA, when that first came out, and all the reviews were saying it was amazing. I think it's a bag of poo. I think it's horrendous. Yeah. It's like a really early DCT.
Yeah, really good.
Still people saying they love it. I don't get it.
Not keen on his ASA, as we said. So, others are there. Anyway, we can hear the phone is ringing in the background. I think we ought to answer it. Bruce, we're going to go with you answering, but it's only an international caller, so over to you.
Oh, I see. Bonsoir. Welcome to TMF Livestream. How can we help you?
Well, good, Bruce. Ken from Ireland.
How you doing, Ken?
Ireland.
Hi. Listen, I don't do anything for the age profile of motorcyclists. I'm 59. I went out into bikes.
That's young, mate. It's young. It's young.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm an accidental motorcyclist. 3 years ago, I had no interest whatsoever.
Right.
And just because I was thick, I got myself a license and got a bike, and I got an XXR 700.
Nice.
Absolutely love it.
So you say you had no interest in bikes whatsoever, and then 3 years ago you got your license. What triggered you to go and get your license then?
Well, actually, I bought an electric bike, a utility bike, an Opco.
Oh yeah.
And basically for work, and it was a fantastic little thing. And one day I was down in Cork and parked in a car park that just happened to be beside a motorbike dealer. Looked in, saw the XSR, and went off about my business, and came back and I said, I'll just have one more look at that.
Yeah, as you do.
And then I was driving home and I was thinking, could I just buy a motorbike?
Cool.
And I had. And anyway, bought it 2 years ago. I had it 2 years. I've been since putting, I realised I spent very little money buying stuff for myself, and I spent a lot of money putting protection on the bike and putting Farkles on it. Mm-hmm. And I kind of made it the bike I liked and love it. The problem I have is recently, anyway, I found I'm kind of more Bruce size. I used to say rugby back in the day. I've slimmed down to
normal. You mean normal? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm 6'4" and somewhere north of 100 kilos. Right? But anyway, the bike is fantastic. I've got it to where I have luggage on it and everything is going ground. The suspension on the bike isn't great. It's probably built for somebody a little bit smaller than myself. So I rang a guy today about kind of getting the suspension upgraded, and it's going to come in around €1,000. And my question to the two of you is, because obviously you had a few bikes back in the day, is at my age, unfortunately, I had an operation there last year that took me off action for a while. So I kind of realised, that maybe my physicality is basically, how many years have I got? So I went over to the bike show in Birmingham last year, and I was mad keen to get the GT. And I sat on it, and no matter how many times I went back to it, I just couldn't make it fit the way I wanted to. So basically, the question I have for you is, if you had the option at my stage now, I have only the one bike. I've ridden a couple of bikes, but not too many. Is it a case of, should I go and just do the suspension, spend the extra bobs, get the suspension fixed? Or should I just live with the bike for another year maybe and go for, say, upgrade the bike?
Oh, blimey. There's a question, Bruce. Fix the one you got or upgrade? Do you think you've grown out of it again?
What do you want to do?
Oh, I love the bike. I mean, the CP2 engine is fantastic, but I was kind of had this thing in my head where the CP3 would be even better.
I agree. I think the CP3 is better personally, but I'm a triple fan. I mean, that's just me. But like Bruce said, it's what do you want to do at the end of the day?
I couldn't get it. Well, I sat in that bike so many times, I just couldn't get, because I have dodgy knees, and I just couldn't get myself comfortable. I was thinking, the bike I have is the devil, you know.
There is a bit of that.
Well, so you've sat on the 3 and you can't get comfortable on it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I actually went over specifically to kind of have a good look at the GT.
Yeah,
and I sat in it, and I kept on going back to it, and trying to get myself comfortable on it. Just couldn't happen.
Well, if it's not comfortable, mate, don't buy it. Don't buy it, because you're not going to enjoy the bike. And I mean, 59. God, I've got guys who are 75 and 76 coming on tours with me this year. Well, you could easily have another 20, 30 years of riding left. So you don't think you've got like another season or 2 left in you. So just whatever bike you're comfortable on, whatever bike, tickles the danglies, that's your bike.
Unfortunately, I had bought a bit of road skins gear, so I was talking to Ian at the stand on the motorbike show, and he goes, they'd done some testing of some new clothing they'd done. He'd been down to Morocco on Ducati Desert X rally, or Desert X anyway. So he said, go over there and sit in that. That's the bike for you. And unfortunately, I made a serious mistake. When I got to the Ducati stand, I got on the Desert X. And actually, I'd been keeping notes of the bikes I'd been on. And next thing I just wrote down the perfect bike. But it happened to be the Desert X Rally. And over here, that's like 30 grand almost.
Yeah.
I went, no, I can't be doing that. So I know for my size, 6'4", 110 kilos or whatever, that kind of bike, an adventure bike is the bike. But I do like the XSR 700. I like the fact that it's so nimble, it's so clickable, and it's whatever. So if you weren't weren't interested in an adventure bike, what kind of bike would you think would be the kind of next one to look at?
For me, I love I love things like the Super Duke. I love those sorts of bikes. If I didn't do the miles that I do doing tours in all weathers, then I would love to have something like a Super Duke in the garage. It's that, or the M1000R. That and the Super Duke were they're the 2 best bikes I've ever ridden. They were just phenomenal. I can't afford them. I buy my bikes on finance. I keep them for 2 or 3 years and then just chop them in. So it's dead money. I'm renting a bike, but I can get the bike that I want. That's how I do it. Don't take financial advice from me, but that's how I get my bikes in the garage.
KTM, yeah?
Sorry, what was that?
Super Duke, that's KTM?
Yeah, the 1290 Super Duke.
I work 7 days a week, so what I'm really after, that's why I bought the Yamaha. I want to ride, not fix. So a good, reliable bike. Or a bike that you can basically trust.
Yeah, and also with the KTM woes we were talking about just now, that might have a
That's a gamble. Yeah, that's a gamble. Yeah. Have you ever ridden the R1250R, the BMW R1250R? Have you ever ridden that?
No, I never have.
I mean, you're 6'4", did you say?
Is that for a big guy?
Well, I mean, I'm 6'3", and I'm best part of 21 stone. And it was a little bit cramped for me, but I loved the bike, really loved the bike, and I can't wait to try the new 1300R when that comes out. It might be a bit too small for you, I don't know, but it's a phenomenal machine. It's a brilliant bike. Other than that,
I was going to say a naked roadster as well. That would be my neck. After adventure bikes, that's the way to go, isn't it? But they are by their nature a bit more cramped. They tend to have, the foot pegs tend to be a bit more up high, don't they? If you do the lean angles and stuff. So it might not be good. Might not be good for Ken's knees.
What about something like the Honda, the NT1100? That's like a deceptively good bike. I thought it was crap until
unfortunately, I don't do touring, so I actually do like his back roads, bit of twisties, bit of crack.
Yeah. Have you tried the Hornet? Don't speak with chops, but have you tried the Hornet?
Oh, actually, that's one bike. I did sit on the Hornet, and actually, I thought, wow. Because for what looks like a sporty bike, it has a very comfortable seating position.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Hornet's not a bad
bike for the money.
It is. The only trouble with the Hornet from a comfort point of view is if you're a bigger chap, is that the seat is quite smallish so you can't move around on it much. It sort of locks you in. So if you've got bad knees, you might end up with a bad back as well because you can't stretch. But it's quite spacious. But another spacious one I've ridden recently, and the reason I mention it is because I rode it recently, is the new Versys. That's a tall old bike. Your legs get nice and straight on that.
Yeah. Oh God, this is gorgeous. It was the Triumph Sport 800.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I haven't ridden it yet, but I've got it in the diary to get. I'm not getting it for months, but I'm looking forward. That's a bike that I potentially would replace my GS with in the future, just because it's a bit lighter. I don't go off road, so I don't need that aspect of the GS. I do like the look of that for some reason. I used to have a 1050 Tiger, and I loved that bike. I did quite miss that. That had the big triple engine in it, and it was a fantastic unit. And I missed not having a triple. So the Tiger 800, I think, could be, or the Tiger Sport 800 could well be an option. I think it's worth looking at, Ken. Because I think that one, your legs are probably... Go on.
Sorry?
Sorry, I thought you had something else to add.
No, actually, I actually definitely, because I never thought of the KTM, because of obviously with the problems, I just had discounted them.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah. It's a gamble. It's a gamble with KTM, certainly until we get some sort of clear indication where they're going, for sure. But I know a lot of people now who have KTMs, and I would say 3/4 of the people I know haven't had any issues.
Okay.
Yeah, one definitely has, but the others, no. Certainly no more than say I've had with my GS. But again, you get the backup. Yeah. It's a difficult one. It's a fantastic bike. It's like, I think you're either KTM or you're not. But at the moment, it's unknown, isn't it, at the moment?
See how it goes. Anyway, I'm not sure we've been any help there or not, Ken, but thanks for the call.
Well, there's a couple of options there I hadn't thought of. So, yes, thank you very much.
Thanks for the call and being our first call in Ireland tonight.
And thank you. It's been a great show.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you for calling. That's fantastic, isn't it? Well, Bruce, we've been on for over an hour and a half. My bladder is limit. So I think we need to pay 3:00 soon. Let's have a little look at the comments here, see if there's anything else. Somebody wants you to wave at their dogs, Bruce.
Hi, dogs. What kind of dogs you got?
This is bizarre.
Please wave to my dogs and send me an autographed helmet. I'll send you a picture of an autographed helmet, AW8.
Brilliant. What else? Bandit, man. Tiger Sport 800 looks a good bike. Unfortunately, a bit small for me. It's similar size to Bruce and Chopsy. Yeah. Gosh, are you that big?
Normal size.
No,
just normal.
I did meet him once, and it didn't look that big. Maybe you've been eating Rich. Yeah. Have you met Richard? You must have done.
Yeah. Richard and is it Carol?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. They're out at Canary Motor Tours all the time. Seen loads.
Indeed. What else have we got? I think we covered. Oh, hang on a minute. Should we take one more caller?
Go on, let's do it.
All right, let's do one more. Hang on a second. Let's get this. Oh, this is very unprofessional now. Last caller of the day then. Hello, who's calling?
It's Robert. Thank you.
Hello, Rob. How you doing? Where are you calling from? And what do you ride normally? We should ask people that every time they call.
Thanks, Andy. No, that's right. First of all, I just want to say a quick hello to Andy and also to Bruce. The show's absolutely fantastic, and I watch you the whole time. So I currently ride a Tracer 9GT for me and my girlfriend, who sits on the back. But I actually own my dream bike at the moment, which is a KTM 990 Duke, which I have to tell you, I get the best return on my motorbiking investment ever. And it's an absolutely fantastic bike.
Fun, you mean?
Well, yeah, in fun. I mean, it's light, it's nimble, it's really responsive, and it's a lot of fun. I've never laughed so much on a motorbike in my life, and it's absolutely, a brilliant bike. And I know that obviously KTM are going through their issues at the moment, but boy, do they make good bikes.
Fantastic. That's great.
That's what it's all about, mate. Smiles and the miles.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I phoned up because I just wanted to ask a question and ask your advice about something which hasn't come up. Andy, I've been watching all of your videos and stuff, and I've got something which is really interesting. So, I have a very healthy respect to motorbikes, and I've owned probably about 49 over the last 25 years.
Right, wow.
Yes.
You're older than you sound.
And that's with a 15-year break, actually, in between riding. I started riding in 96, 97, had a 16-year break, but I came on about 6-7 years ago, and I've had lots and lots of different motorbikes. What I've done is, strangely enough, is I've regretted selling one or two of my motorbikes, and I've actually bought them back. I had a passion because I missed them. So I bought a couple of bikes back, and I have to tell you, it was like being reunited with an old friend. It was amazing to have my old bike back. And yesterday, I had an email from a gentleman saying that, because I'd only sold my Yamaha Phaser 8, the 800 inline 4. The Phaser 8 was a fantastic bike. He then says to me he's actually moving house, and am I interested in buying the bike back? So I'm sitting here in a dilemma thinking, do I buy my third motorbike back that I used to own? And I'm just sitting here thinking, it'd be amazing to have it back. My point is, have either of you ever bought back a motorbike and regretted it, or have you bought back a motorbike and thought, I really missed it? And I'm wondering how many of your viewers have actually sold their motorbike and then bought it back.
That's a great question, actually, one that's in my mind at the moment, because I hate selling motorbikes because I put a lot of thought into buying them. And then if you do get rid of them, you always think, am I making the right choice getting rid of this sort of thing? Or certainly I do. And so all the bikes I've not that I've owned loads and sold loads, but I've had a few. And I do occasionally miss all the ones I've sold. But when I do sell them, I always say to the person I'm selling it to, if you ever sell it, can I have first shout on buying it back? And funnily enough, my Street Triple, which I sold about 4 years ago, that came on the market recently, and I got a chance to buy that back, and I was very, very tempted. Except they wanted more than what I sold it for. But actually, that isn't true. Actually, just threw that in for the comedy value. So I very nearly bought that, and then I thought, you know what? I sold it for a reason. That reason still stands. Basically, the reason was I didn't have enough room in the garage, and if I had the choice of riding my Speed Twin or that, I'd go out on the Speed Twin, and I still got the Speed Twin. So I thought, why would that change now? So I didn't go for it. And then last week or the week before, I got an email from the guy that I sold my Panigale to, the 899. Saying that he didn't believe he was going to get to this point, but he's decided his back's not quite up for it anymore. Did I want to buy it back? And again, I for a night or two, I agonized because I really miss having that in the garage. But again, I sold it because I didn't ride it very much because it killed my back. And thought, get real, you're just going to have the same thing. You'll end up with a very beautiful looking bike that you never ride. So I didn't. And again, I still keep thinking to myself, oh, should I? So I wrote back to him and said, actually, thanks, but no thanks. And then he wrote back and said, it was a silly thought anyway. I think I'm going to keep it. So you never know. You might come back and think, offer it to me again. So long answer to your question. No, I haven't bought one back, but I've been very, very tempted, and I can understand why you do it. And I did wonder whether it would be the same again. So the fact that you say that it's like meeting an old friend makes me think that maybe I should buy an old one back.
And how about you, Bruce?
I've only ever bought one bike. All the others have always just been finance, so I've always just traded them in for the next one.
You've got no emotional connection, have you?
No, because I get a new bike because I want a new bike. So, and I had a K5 Gixxer Thou around about 2009, 2010. Purely because everyone kept telling me how good the K5 was, and I saw one, so I got it, and it was all right. But my Gixxers I've had Gixxer Thous from the K9 up to the L1, and they were better for me. So I got rid of it, no regrets. I missed the Tuono. I hated owning the Tuono. It was a pain in the arse, but I missed that engine. The Tuono was such a beautiful engine. It's just still probably the best sounding engine, I think, in biking. Yeah. That's me.
An interesting one. Interesting one, that, isn't it? It's funny how we get emotionally attached to things, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
and
no,
bikes,
definitely. And especially when you look at the pictures of you riding the bike and years later you think, my God, I miss that.
Yeah. And bikes are more like that than cars, aren't they, I find? I've had one or two cars. I think, oh, that was a great car. But when I think, would I want it back? The answer is always no, because whatever I've got now is way better. But that doesn't seem to necessarily be the case with bikes. They're much more emotional purchase, aren't they?
But then you get car guys, you get car folk as well, though, don't you? That are like uber passionate about cars. Like you get folk that are uber passionate about bikes. It's just
you do. I mean, I'm a car person as well. I don't talk about it much, but I just think there's something about bikes because the way that you ride them, it's a more personal relationship with a bike than a car because they're more like they become part of you. It's a more visceral relationship, isn't it? You know, wind in your bald head and all that sort of stuff. You know, the fact you're clasping it between your legs. I just think it's a more personal.
Do you need a minute, Andy? Turn the cameras off.
Not in that But you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I just think it's a more emotional purchase generally, even if you're buying a car for fun. I have a fun car, which I love. But if I sell that, I don't think I'll miss it particularly. Whereas bikes, I always wonder if I would. An interesting one, that there's some psychology in there, isn't there, Rob? Good stuff. Anyway, thanks for the call.
Pleasure.
Fascinating.
Thanks,
Don't be a
guys.
stranger.
I love you very much. You're absolutely brilliant. So thank you, and
very
a
much.
great show. And I wish you both the best of luck. Thank you.
Thanks
very much. And you. Cheers, man. Ta-da, Rob.
What a nice guy. That's it's just I feel humbled to have such nice people watch us, Bruce. But they're probably your viewers, I expect.
They're yours, mate. They're yours.
Maybe they were looking for Richie, and sadly came the wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, I can see it's gone 10 o'clock, which is past my bedtime.
Blimey.
And news night's on soon. I've got to see what our friend Donald's been up to. I know. Anyway, and I'm knackered. But anyway, it's been thanks very much, Bruce, for joining me. It's been great.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me on. Cheers, folks. Thanks for your comments.
And, thanks everybody for comments. Sorry we didn't get to read that many comments, but now I've got my new thing. I can press the button and show that that's all good fun, isn't it? And thanks to everybody who called. I think we got through about 12, 14 calls, so that's fantastic. Do you think that cool thing works, Bruce? Should we do that again sometime?
Yeah, I think so, mate. Yeah, I think so.
Different.
It's a bit of engagement for people.
I think it's a little bit different to what other people are doing. We can all go on bike launches, can't we, and do that if we want to. Let's do something a bit different. Let's have a phone in Noel Edmonds style. I think that works. Anyway, thanks everybody.
We'll have a gunge tank soon.
Now, there's a thought. Who would we have on that episode? I can think of maybe one. Anyway,
it's time to go now. It's time to go.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad I've not had a beer.
See you soon. Bye.
Cheers, folks. Ta-da.
How do we stop this thing?
I don't know.
Let's press end stream.